The 2024 election is upon us. One issue stands out: housing affordability. For many Americans, the dream of homeownership feels distant. Rising costs, stagnant wages, and a shortage of affordable homes paint a bleak picture. This issue resonates deeply with voters, especially in swing states. These states, with their power to tip the election, are battlegrounds for every vote. Candidates know this. They are crafting their messages to address housing anxieties. The party that can convince voters they have the best solutions may well win the White House. The American dream, for many, includes a home of their own. It represents stability, security, and a piece of the future. But this dream is increasingly out of reach. The housing crisis is a personal story for millions. It's a story of families struggling to make rent, of young people delaying milestones like marriage and children, of seniors on fixed incomes facing impossible choices. This struggle is not just an economic issue, it's an emotional one, fraught with anxiety and uncertainty. It's these emotions that candidates are tapping into, promising relief and a brighter future. Realtor.com data reveals a stark reality. America is a nation divided by housing affordability. Red states generally have seen slower home price growth. Cities like Oklahoma City and Memphis offer relative affordability. Blue states, on the other hand, are grappling with skyrocketing prices. Coastal hubs like San Francisco and Boston are becoming increasingly exclusive. Swing states, as always, occupy a middle ground. Places like Philadelphia and Atlanta are seeing rapid appreciation, but not as extreme as the coastal cities. This geographic divide underscores the complexity of the housing crisis. There are many factors at play. Supply and demand are fundamental. Limited housing stock in desirable areas drives up prices. Wage stagnation adds another layer. Incomes haven't kept pace with rising housing costs, leaving many priced out. The rise of remote work has further complicated the picture. People are moving to more affordable areas, driving up demand and prices in unexpected places. This intricate web of factors creates a puzzle that policymakers are struggling to solve. Simple solutions seem elusive. The housing crisis demands a multifaceted approach, one that addresses both supply and affordability. Presidential hopefuls are acutely aware of the housing anxieties gripping the nation. Their campaigns are peppered with promises aimed at easing the burden. Some candidates focus on increasing the supply of affordable housing. They propose tax incentives for developers, streamlining permitting processes, and investing in public housing projects. Others emphasize tackling the demand side. They advocate for policies like rent control, expanded housing vouchers, and down payment assistance programs. These proposals, while varied, all aim to address the core issues of affordability and access. The political rhetoric surrounding housing often reflects ideological divides. Some candidates champion market-driven solutions, arguing that reducing regulations and empowering private developers will lead to more affordable options. Others advocate for greater government intervention, emphasizing the need for social safety nets and direct assistance to those struggling to afford housing. These contrasting approaches highlight the fundamental debate about the role of government in addressing societal challenges. The political rhetoric surrounding housing often reflects ideological divides. Some candidates champion market-driven solutions, arguing that reducing regulations and empowering private developers will lead to more affordable options. Others advocate for greater government intervention, emphasizing the need for social safety nets and direct assistance to those struggling to afford housing. These contrasting approaches highlight the fundamental debate about the role of government in addressing societal challenges. Voters are left to decipher the promises, weigh the potential benefits and drawbacks, and ultimately decide which path aligns with their vision for the future. Swing states are where the housing crisis could have the most significant impact on the election. These states, with their large populations and electoral weight, are often decided by razor-thin margins. Every vote counts. Candidates are acutely aware of this. They are tailoring their messages to address the specific housing anxieties of swing state voters. In states like Pennsylvania and Michigan, where deindustrialization has left communities struggling, candidates might emphasize job creation and economic revitalization as a means to improve housing affordability. In states like Arizona and Nevada, grappling with rapid growth and soaring prices, the focus might shift to expanding affordable housing options and protecting vulnerable residents from displacement. The housing crisis is not just an abstract policy issue in swing states. It's a lived reality for millions of voters. It's the single mother working 2 jobs to keep a roof over her children's heads. It's the young couple delaying marriage because they can't afford a down payment. It's the senior citizen choosing between medication and rent. These are the stories that resonate with voters, the struggles that candidates must address if they hope to win their support. The party that can convince voters they understand their anxieties, that they have a plan to ease the burden of housing costs, may well hold the key to the White House. For many voters, the decision of who to support will come down to one fundamental question: who can offer me and my family a better future? In an era of economic uncertainty and social division, a safe and affordable home represents a cornerstone of that future. It's a place of refuge, a springboard for opportunity, a symbol of stability. Candidates understand this deep-seated desire for security. They frame their housing policies not just as economic solutions, but as pathways to a brighter future for families, for communities, for the nation. They paint a picture of a future where homeownership is attainable, where rents are manageable, where every American has a roof over their head and a chance to thrive. The power of the housing issue lies in its ability to connect with voters on a deeply personal level. It transcends ideological divides, touching on universal aspirations for security and opportunity. It's a reminder that behind the abstract policy debates, behind the political slogans and campaign promises, are real people struggling with real challenges. For these voters, the election is not just about choosing a president. It's about choosing a future for themselves and their families. It's about choosing the candidate who offers the best chance of achieving the American dream, a dream that starts with a safe and affordable place to call home. The 2024 election is just one chapter in the unfolding saga of America's housing crisis. The challenges are complex, the solutions elusive. But one thing is certain: the issue of housing affordability will continue to shape our politics, our communities, and our lives for years to come. The choices we make today will have a lasting impact on generations to come. Will we prioritize policies that promote equitable access to housing? Will we invest in solutions that address both supply and affordability? Will we recognize housing as a fundamental human right, essential for individual and societal well-being? The answers to these questions will determine the course of the housing crisis, and with it, the shape of the American dream. The housing crisis is not just an economic issue, it's a moral one. It's a reflection of our values, our priorities, our commitment to creating a just and equitable society. It's a call to action, a reminder that we can and must do better. The 2024 election is an opportunity to choose a path forward, a chance to elect leaders who will prioritize housing affordability and work towards a future where every American has a place to call home. The future of housing is uncertain, but one thing is clear: the choices we make today will determine whether the American dream remains a distant aspiration or a tangible reality for generations to come.